Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us in our 8th STEM Girls Talk Show organized by Age Network. I would like to kindly remind everyone to mute your microphone during the show, please. We will record the show and upload it later into the Age Network YouTube channel. Please use the chat to type your questions. If you experience connection problems, enable low bandwidth mode and reduce video quality. Thanks for thanks for waiting. We have with us Mrs. Akan, our guest for today. Welcome, Mrs. Akan, and thank you for joining us today. This show will have the assistance of
Thank you very
three.
much.
Thank you. This show will have the assistance of three co-hosts, who are Bawala, Japuji, and me, Anna. Uh,
Okay.
Before we begin, let me provide a quick overview of women in chemistry.
Okay.
As we can see, even though only 35% of STEM students in higher education globally are women, we can still see the girls are getting more interested and they are getting more applied in STEM subjects like chemistry. And we're getting good at it. We having like a 63% representation in studies, more than guys, which we are doing is getting the job done, and we're getting more girls interested, and they're getting good at it. And we cannot forget these great achievements that women have made throughout history in chemistry. For example, the two times Nobel Prize winner Marie Curie, who conducted a pioneer research on radioactivity, Rosalind Franklin, who understood the molecular structures of DNA, and one of the latest women to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Frances Arnold, in 2018, conducted the first directed evolution of enzymes. We should be very proud that women are getting represented in chemistry and look forward for more in the future. Today's guest is Mrs. Akan. Mrs. Akan is a graduate of pure and applied chemistry, now major in analytical environmental chemistry. She is very passionate about the environment. Her priority is to provide potable water that is accessible to all, and her research interests center in absorption techniques, water treatments, and biomass as an absorption tool for contaminants. Currently, a researcher lecturer at Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria. She is a climate activist and a volunteer with various NGOs across Africa and the world. So great, Mrs. Akan. We will start out with some questions. Um,
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, first of all. And can you please tell us
Okay.
a little bit about your field and what motivated you to pursue it?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. I'm most delighted. Uh, what motivated me to be in my field was whether was it high school now. I love chemistry, and this was due to my class teacher then, and she really made chemistry very comfortable for each student to learn. That is why, as a lecturer, a teacher, we have a direct impact on what our students will be later in the future. So what motivated me? Well, all over the world, there is always an environmental issue right now, issues to deal with, and this is due to the Industrial Revolution and humans' anthropogenic activities. And there are different pollution in the air, in the water, in the soil right now that is affecting what as humans we have taken into our system. And I actually want to address a particular part of the pollution, which is the pollution in the water. And most of the pollution we have in the water, most contaminants is heavy metals and lead. I remember heavy metals have a regulated amount that's supposed to be in the body. But because due to the water we take in, it increases these doses. which in turn affects our body system or cause different harms into our body system. So if we can make the water clean and safe for drinking, then at least the level of harms that is getting to our body will be reduced. That was part of what motivated me to go into this particular aspect. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Akan. I really like that you said that one of your teachers inspires you, because teachers are the first person that we see as role models in this in STEM subjects, and also that the pollution in water. Like, we have to be careful, because this is not only polluting the environment for animals, but it is also polluting us inside of us. So yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Akin, I would like to ask the next question.
Okay.
As your main priority is to provide accessible potable water, can you tell us the main challenges that you encounter and how were you able to access absorption tools against contaminants?
Well, it's unfortunate we are in Africa where researchers are not appreciated. That is the difference between Africa and the other part of the world. When such researches are going on, they fund it to be able to after all, the end user will be the populace, the country at large. Unfortunately, in Nigeria where I am, all of my researches are funded by myself. Despite the fact that I'm working in a government facility. One. Two, the instrumental analysis needed, most of them are not readily available, which is even more frustrating. Even in the so-called universities, they are limited. And if they are limited, you need to pay for it or where it is. Something you're supposed to use for free.
Yes.
So those are the challenges that we have. In where I work right now, I need to pay for what I'm using, which is not supposed to so. For crying out loud, the research is a research institute. So why do I need to pay for it? Because I'm carrying out a research that will benefit the whole country. It's just sad. But with it, we need to let that to break us. We didn't let us to alter our speed. We'll still go ahead and research for it. It's for our own good. Because it is not for now, because of our children that will come, that's coming later. It's for the future, not for now. It's what we build now that the future will work on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will ask the following question, Miss Akan. So, who has, like, as you told us that one of your teachers inspires you to become a chemist, what other person has inspired you to become who you are today? And during this process, what are your greatest achievements?
I am most grateful for my supervisors in the person of Dr. Mrs. Eo Ibrahim and Professor O.S. Bilu. It is because I've tapped into a well of knowledge I was able to make something of this career. And my major achievement now in where I work, I am an authority in this analytical environmental chemistry right now. And what can be more fulfilling? From there, then I can go to national level and international level. I have to start from somewhere. So that is my greatest achievement right now. And I'm grateful for them, for allowing me to tap into their depth of knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you for all your collaboration, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the next question. From our
Okay.
previous shows, we have learned that there are very few women in STEM careers. Is this similar situation in your field as well?
It is everywhere. It is everywhere. It is everywhere, especially in Africa. Why? Because of cultural bias. They feel that the place of the woman is in the kitchen. And they forget that the woman has a very critical role in the environment. Because whatever we start from the home, from our little community, that is what translates to the bigger community and then the nation at large. But a lot of people are coming up right now, and this is what we need to encourage the young girls coming up right now. There is so much to do. There is so much impact to make in this environment, in the environment, rather.
Yes, I can see that it is very frustrating for us women to that people see us as
Yeah.
as part of the kitchen and not part of like the movement and the innovation of the world. So
Yes.
I would like to also ask you, Ms. Agan, when you were a student, did you ever feel any peer pressure? Mainly because that you were a woman, you tell us about like women belong. They tell us that women belong on the kitchen. But what else? What others peer pressure do you encounter? And what advice will you give to young girls who wish to study STEM subjects?
Well, as a young girl, I attended a only girls' school. So I didn't really feel the pressure like that. Then secondly, my mother was actually staying strong with me because I think we have lost our father then. And she didn't go to school. And she vowed in her heart that all of our children will attend school. So she's the pillar behind it, holding me on that, no, you must continue. I can remember one of my brothers, my middle brother, he stopped at high school. She told him that you must do something. Where the world is going right now, we can't afford to even ordinary BSc certificate is not enough right now. It is not enough because there are, especially in Nigeria, there are a lot of brackets still looking for something to do. So you can't afford to have only a BSc or just to be a graduate. You need to do more. But what is the challenges? Are you with me?
Yes, we're here with you.
Yes, we're here.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so one of the challenges is funding. But we just need to strive. So I didn't really have much peer pressure because I went to only girls' school. So,
Mrs. Akan, do you have any advice for for the little girls that are the younger you that wants to pursue to venture into STEM subjects at school? Maybe they don't have, for example, a good teacher, for example. Sometimes, because we know sometimes the education system is a challenge sometimes.
yes.
So if someone who wants to venture, but maybe does not have the support that they need at the time, do you have any advice for girls like that, and any girls, in fact, who want to venture into STEM subjects?
Okay. I need to mention that apart from the fact that my chemistry teacher made it easy, I went back home to read. I could remember in all the textbooks, old textbooks we have at home then. I love Lambert. And then we're using Abakio in Nigeria. I love Lambert. I read more of Lambert at home. So it is not enough to depend solely on what your teacher teaches in school. You need to have the thirst to search more. In whatever field you want to go to, you need to develop the thirst to research more on that particular subject. And I think Lambert really helped me then. That's why the fact that my teacher made the course comfortable for me to learn.
Yes.
So it's not enough. It's not enough to depend solely on what they teach in school, but to read more when you get home.
Yes, yes. So what I'm getting is you saying that we need to first. It starts in the beginning. We need to encourage the girls to learn, to study and to try and pursue something that they want to sort of be. So how can we encourage girls? Maybe our parents. It starts at home as well. How can we? If, for example, I'm a parent listening right now, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, how can I try and encourage the girls in my family or a girl that I know so that they can join STEM fields, for example?
Okay. The truth is, when we don't plan for, we don't actualize. So every day, we need to have a plan. Okay, how many hours can I use per day to study? Whatever you achieve in 2 hours, 3 hours, it is something that's added to your knowledge. So you need to make up your mind, okay, I want this to study for 2 hours, 3 hours a day. Or when we don't even say, okay, 1 hour a day. Then we need to discuss with these girls. Chat with them. What have you learned? Just me. Make it fun. Everything must not be a serious environment. So let's discuss. Okay, what do you learn today? Atom. So what about the atom? Tell me what you've learned. Started asking simple questions. In that process, the girl is learning more. It's even better if the aunt or the mom has a better knowledge of the particular subject. It will be fun. We don't need to make everything. It's because of the serious atmosphere, the strict atmosphere, that even deprive these children to learn. Let it make it fun. Okay, if you study for 2 hours today and you tell me what to teach me, this is what I'm going to get for you. Do you think people won't be motivated to study?
Yeah, there will be. Yeah, the kids love fun environments.
Exactly. This is what I do for my children. They're still young. Okay, this is what we will do. If you do this, so, I'm taking you out. If you do this before I come back, I'm buying this and this for you.
Maybe a parent would say, I would love to do that for my child, but maybe it's time. I do not have the time. Then how can the girl, as a girl right now, how can I do that for myself? How can I try and put myself in that environment? Because maybe
then make plan to study for a particular hour or particular period. Make it an habit that if it is 2 hours, then I want to study for 2 hours each day. And make it an habit.
All right, it's amazing. But I love the way you look at STEM, how to study STEM, because in the past we all know that STEM is something serious. People try and run away because they think STEM subjects are difficult, or maybe they can't probably achieve.
Yes.
Do you believe? Sorry about that. Do you believe that by getting more girls?
I didn't get that.
No, I was saying, do you believe that more girls involved in your field, for example, climate issues, pollution, water contamination, and subjects like that will increase or make the future more sustainable, or improve the field by closing the gap between gender inequality?
It is breaking. I didn't even get all that. Sorry.
Hello?
Hello? It's breaking. I didn't get all that.
Oh, I was saying, do you believe that by getting more girls and closing the gender gap within your field in climate issues and environmental issues would create a more sustainable future and
Yes,
improve
it
the
will.
field?
Yes, it will greatly. Because the future we are looking at, we need to create a sustainable environment for ourselves. Reason why we need more people in that field. So yes, it will.
Thank you. Is
So
everyone?
Sorry. What are the challenges that we face when we're talking about climate change, about dealing with climate change? And what can we do as an individual, like at our own level, to help to reduce our carbon footprint?
you can see the weather is changing right now. The weather is changing right now because we released a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which is breaking the ozone layer. Everywhere the glacier is melting, everywhere there's an extreme temperature, there's an extreme this, there's an extreme that. And even in the ocean, a lot of waste. So part of things we can do to halt this is this reuse, and recycle, and reducing our carbon footprint. This research I carried out sometimes ago, the amount of heavy metals released to the trees by the roadside through car exhausts. You don't want to imagine how much these things release. It is terrible. If we can reduce our carbon footprint by maybe riding a bicycle or carpooling, this thing will be addressed. It will be addressed. So we need to recycle most of the things we use, reuse some things, some household items. One of the challenges we're facing right now in Nigeria is plastic pollution. Plastic everywhere. It is disheartening. But thank God for some young scientists now, some young environmentalists, recycling these plastics to make some beautiful items.
Mrs. Akan, is there?
Yes.
What's the latest on you speaking about recycling plastic, and plastic is hurting our biodiversity. You know, your fish are drowning because of that.
Yes. Yes.
What is being done to replace plastic so that we don't use plastic anymore and try and use something else maybe?
Well, I don't know how plastic came to, because when we are growing up, we used glass bottles, and they reuse it then. They use it to repackage the same drink for us to drink after it has been washed and cleaned. Or I don't know when this wave of plastic just came in and everywhere was plastic. So I think we need to go back to glass. The usage of glass, or you use paper, which is still more sustainable than this plastic.
Paper? Yeah, paper comes from trees. Yes.
Yes.
We already have difficulties because people are cutting down trees every corner, everywhere.
Yes.
Is having paper still a good idea, maybe? Because of that problem?
Well, whether we like it or not, we still need to use the paper. Because even in the supermarket right now, paper pack is still what they were using. Now, that is the idea of planting trees coming. There is grafting. When you cut down a tree, you can still grow another one, although it will take years. And the scientific breakthrough right now that trees that take like 10 or 15 years to grow right now, they've reduced the gestational age to maybe 3. That's reach maturity. That's part of the researches we do in forestry research institutes. They've reduced the gestational age, of seedlings, the gestational age of maturity of trees. So if we can work in that area, then issue of having more people to use won't be an issue. But everywhere now is this deforestation. Everywhere just cutting down everything. If everyone can invite the culture of planting a tree, imagine the age I am now. If I've been planting one tree on my birthday since I was born, imagine the amount of trees I will have.
Yeah, it would be phenomenal, actually.
Exactly. Now imagine everyone in this world doing the same.
My birthday, instead of buying cake, plant.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So imagine that. But we need to invite the cost of planting trees first. Let them know the importance of planting these trees.
Okay. Does anyone have? I think we've gone through our questions. Does anyone have any further questions for our Mrs. Akan?
I'd like to ask
Hello?
something. Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello? Yeah. So
Yes.
now because of this COVID, we've seen there is a lot of disposable, like everyone is encouraging disposable stuff. So is that going to have an adverse effect on the climate as well? Because I've heard reports that there are going to be more masks in the ocean than jellyfish. So
I didn't get that. Sorry.
I was saying that if during COVID, everyone is encouraging disposable plastic stuff. So how do we deal with that moving forward from here?
That's why we're saying if there is a recycling culture, all this disposable can be turned into something else. But where are the industries when the economic of some nations are killing even the entrepreneurial spirit? There are people that are ready to have the idea, that have the capacity, mental capacity. But when they don't have anybody to invest in them, and even if they invest, some policies will drain their capital. So what are we not there? So if we can invite the recycling culture, then that issue is solved.
So basically, recycling should be our aim.
Sorry?
We should try to recycle as much as possible, and that should be our aim.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Anyone? Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Akan, for joining us, and everyone who joined us for the talk show. We really appreciate your contribution.
Thank you.
And clearly, we still have a lot to do. We have a long way to go.
Yes.
And I would like from this to say that every single person, when you buy a gift for someone, plant a tree. Buy them a tree so we can save our beautiful earth.
Plants. Yes.
Yes. For everyone else who still wants to connect with us, you can connect with us via email, social media, your Facebook and Twitter. And if we have further questions, and for people that probably because of technical issues were unable to join us, anyone can send their questions on our WhatsApp platform. And I have one basic sort of activity that would align with what Mrs. Akan said earlier, that you need to set aside an hour or so, or some time if you want to do something and learn. And we can contribute in different ways and encourage our girls to venture into STEM subjects. And one girl at a time is a lot. So if you are listening right now, as a young girl, whether you've thought about doing STEM, or you think you haven't, I'd like us to look in the mirror and say this. Please say this after me. I am a girl. I am smart, and I can do anything and everything. And we can say that sort of to encourage yourself every day, looking in the mirror. You being a girl, a female, is not a barrier. And we understand that STEM needs us. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics needs girls, and we still have a lot to do. So thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you, Mrs. Akan, for your
Thank you.
for your beautiful insight into the field. I didn't know about analytic environmental chemistry, but now I have to read about. So I believe that you've inspired at least one girl out there. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
so
having
much.
me.